So this is just going to be a quick walkthrough of the Bubble template to show you how it is set up in Bubble. So once you purchase Copy Foundation, you will get instructions on how to access the template. If you come into your Bubble account and head to the Templates tab, head to Purchased, and from here you can start an app using the Foundation template. But once you create an app using the template, this is what you'll see. So here we're on the index page. And if I open up the page selector, you can see the various pages we have in here. So we have color page. So here I have created a color sheet so you can see all of the color styles that are saved in the Foundation template. So we have the Bubble system defaults, then we have all of the color styles that I have created. So neutral, primary, secondary, destructive, success, and alert. And all of these are linked to the color styles from the color picker. Then we have components page. So you can see all of the components that I have created. So we have badge, badge icons, buttons, button group, items, breadcrumb items, checkboxes, chips, content dividers, inputs, dropdowns, search, datetime picker, multi-line, radio, slider, progress, switch, tab menu items, tags, toggles, pagination, and picture uploaders. All of these components are saved in individual pages in the Figma file. So there isn't just one page full of the components. They are individual pages. So there will be a badge page, a button page, etc. And then in Bubble, you've saved them all on a single page. And all of these are their own styles that I have created and saved. So for example, the badges are saved as buttons. So we can use icons within the buttons, and that is saved as a style. Here you can see on the style selector and different variations of that style, and they are numbered accordingly. So the primary are saved, for example, as 12, and the secondary would be 13, light would be 14, just so there's easy navigation when going through all of the components. Badge icons are saved as icon styles. So those would be icons. Buttons are buttons. Breadcrumb items are also buttons. Checkboxes are the standard for Bubble. Chips are also buttons. Content dividers are just groups with custom elements within inside. So these would be buttons within those parent groups. Inputs, drop down, search box, etc. are all the Bubble defaults, but they are just being styled accordingly. Radio, Bubble default. Slider, Bubble default. Progress bar is just a group. And then switches are buttons, as are tab menu items, as are tags. Toggles are custom elements, which I have created as reusable elements. And they all have active states on the actual reusables themselves. When they're selected as no, they'll be left aligned. And when they are active, yes. If you preview this page, you'll be able to see that the background color will be your primary color and the toggle will be selected to the right-hand side. Pagination, again, these are just groups saved as reusable elements. And then picture uploaders, we have 2 styles for each. Then we have a typography page. Again, we have our font family and all of our typography styles saved in a single sheet, so you can easily see the different details for each typography style. So we have display, extra large and large, then headings 1 through to 6, labels extra large through to extra small, body extra large through to extra small. If I click on a font here, you can see they're all saved and numbered accordingly just to keep them all in a nice ordered list. So display, headings 1 through 6, label extra large. Then I also have label light. So these are lighter color styles associated with those labels. And then body extra large to extra small. Then you can see all of the reusable elements I have saved. So I have hero sections, feature sections, metrics, call to action, pricing, FAQ, testimonial, footers, nav bars with mega menus, signups, and then our dashboard pages, plus some pagination and filter sections and our toggles. If I head to a hero section, you can see our hero section laid out here, and hit the responsive tab, and you can see that everything scales down responsively, all out of the box, ready to use. So you don't need to worry about making anything responsive. And every single reusable element here is responsive all the way down to the mobile screen width. And that is including our dashboards. So if I head to our dashboard 1, and hit the responsive tab and scale this down to 375, everything's fully scaled down appropriately. And even these filter sections, they will display filters and sort elements all responsively working. This table allows horizontal scroll, so you can scroll left to right. And same for dashboards with a side nav. If you hit responsive, this side nav will disappear, and all of the links in this side nav will be in the same menu. So this is the exact same menu as our full width here, because it's saved as a floating group. When we go down to mobile widths, I then hide that floating group by default. So you don't need to repeat all your workflows on these elements within the dashboards. We've tried to limit the number of workflows within Foundation. However, on the dashboards, we do have some workflows. That is because we need to show or hide certain elements, such as group focuses, and to set a state to show a different screen within that dashboard. So here I have a custom workflow that is set state, and that's just going to set the state of the navigation. You can update this custom workflow if you want to use page parameters or something, which you can't do as a reusable element, but once you've put it on a standalone page, you can change this custom workflow, and then that will automatically hook up to your way to navigate through the dashboard. On the data tab, you can see we don't have any app data. We do have some option sets. This is just to populate some of the data in the dashboards, such as tables and graphs. So we have some fictitious companies, and they have just an email and logo. Dummy data. So I have 12 entries here, and they just have various attributes in each entry. For example, a description, a budget, tools linked to that entry, tags, a user image, statuses, and those are just generic entries to display different items in different tables. Then navigation, so using the set state custom workflow from the dashboard, I'm actually just pulling in an option set to show a different screen based on this option set here. So you can just continue using this navigation if you wish. I like to use option sets for the navigation because you just create them once and pull in that option set, and you don't have to worry then about making sure all the spelling and everything is correct when creating workflows. You can just pull in the option set that's already pre-made for you. We have role, tags, some tools with logos and icons, and then some users with an image, email, and username. You can grab these images from the Figma file. These are all created with Midjourney. So you can either use those images that I've created, or you can create your own. And there's an example prompt in the Figma file that you can use with Midjourney. Then from the styles, you can see all of the styles I have created. So like I said, they're all numbered. So our buttons are 1. So that's our primary button. And primary button with a gradient is number 2, secondary button is number 3, etc. Just to keep all of our styles all ordered. The bottom one is quite heavy. There is quite a lot in there, so it is easier to just go onto the components page itself to more easily see all of the different components that I have created rather than searching through the styles panel. And this way then, if you want to grab a certain component and use it in your design, you can just come to the components page. I could come in here, I could then copy, and then in my page, I could paste that component directly. So I'm just quickly going to create a landing page just to show you how quick it is to use Foundation to build out stuff such as landing pages. So if I'm going to add in a new page, I'm going to create this page here. I'm going to select the main page. I'm going to change the layout to column. I'm going to select 1400 and min height I will just select as 900. Then on the left hand side I'm going to scroll down to my reusable elements and I'm going to grab hero number 11, drop it onto a page, just going to right click and hit detach reusable element. Select my landing page. Now I'm going to grab a feature section. If I grab number 6, drop it onto the page. Again, then I'm going to detach the reusable element. That's going to drop that section below. I'm now going to grab a testimonial. So I'm going to grab testimonial number 10. Right click and select detach reusable element. Come down, I'm going to grab an FAQ. Drop it onto the page again. Right click and detach. I might grab a call to action. Drop onto the page, right click and detach. That will drop to the bottom. And finish with a footer. Footer number 5. Right click and detach reusable element. And if I grab in a navbar mega menu, so I'm going to grab number 12, drop it onto my page. And here now I can preview the page and see this full landing page in action. And if we just remove the debugger, you can see our full landing page ready for us to use. It's all aligned correctly and all the designs work with each other. But I may want to add in some additional top padding or even some top margin here. So I could add in a top margin of 80 pixels because I know my navbar is going to be 80 pixels. And I actually want to update all of the badges to this chip style here. So here we have a chip, but on the next section we may have a badge. So I could then update this to chip primary stroke and rename to chip. I could then do the same here, rename chip and chip primary stroke. Again, here I might want to go chip primary stroke. I think I want to change this to a light gradient button. And now I can come into my updated page. And you can see I have a bit more space at the top because I've added that margin in to the hero section to make way for the navbar. And all these badges have updated to the chips. And because they're all pre-styled, they all fit in with the same style throughout, so they're nice and consistent. I changed that to a light gradient button just so we're only using two versions of our button, primary and a light. So I'm not adding in a third style. So then if we head to our dev tools, more tools, dev tools, and we can see all of our elements scaled down and are fully responsive all the way down to mobile breakpoints. Here we're at 320. You can see everything is vertically stacked, perfectly aligned. All our spacing has adjusted, all our sizing has adjusted. We are now expanding to full width for our buttons. We have now got a mobile menu with all of the same links from the full menu. So you don't need to worry about setting up all the mobile responsiveness. Everything just works out of the box. You can drag and drop web blocks onto the page and they will scale down fully without you having to worry about setting that up. And to see the dashboard in action, I'm just going to create a new page and name it dashboard. Here, for the layout of the page, you're actually going to select row. I'm going to put my default builder width 1400. I will go 900 height again. I'm going to grab my dashboard 5. I think that's my favorite at the minute. And here on the dashboard, I'm going to select my minimum height to 100%. So that's a little hack to make sure we get to 100 vertical height. So I'm going to hit preview for our dashboard. And here I'm going to remove the debugger. And again, you can see our dashboard. I can navigate to the various pages. The generate, the messages, and the support are all floating groups. So these are above our dashboard, which is below. And we have many different views. I can click through to a example profile. This is just static data. This isn't actually pulling in any dynamic data. And then from here, we have different menus. I could do message. So I could edit, and this would come to some settings pages. If you want to scan more easily through all of the screens that are included in the dashboards, then head to the Figma file to the application page. And on there, you'll be able to see the dashboard components. All of the screens you see there are replicated in the Bubble template. It just will be easier and quicker to scroll through in the Figma file. And then once you know what's there, you can know what to look for in the Bubble template. And if you want to check the responsiveness of our dashboards, again, we're going to come to our developer tools. And you can see our dashboards are fully responsive all the way down to mobile breakpoints. Everything stacks vertically. We have the same floating group for our navigation. So we can navigate to different pages. Everything is fully responsive. So even with the dashboards, you don't have to worry about recreating workflows for a mobile menu or a side nav. It's just the same floating group, so you don't need to worry about that. So that's a quick walkthrough of the Bubble template and gives you an idea of how the template is set up and how you can use that template to create your apps. Foundation has been designed to start your apps with the template. So if you're trying to bring in components or designs to an existing app which wasn't created using the template, you may struggle a little bit because everything is linked to styles with Foundation. So if you don't have those styles baked into your app from the get-go, then stuff's going to break and you're going to have to rebuild it all from scratch. So the best way to use Foundation is start a new app with the Foundation template, and then everything's going to be linked to those color styles, and that's going to save you way more time on the design process, and you can get to developing way quicker in Bubble. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter at Adam Tossell or at Foundation_UI, or shoot me over an email at hey@foundationui